Hey guys, Ivan here, and this is Chris Bumstead, 10 weeks out of Mr. Olympia. Of course, we are talking about classic physique Mr. Olympia, and he was second place 2 years in a row now. I gotta be honest with you guys, he's my favorite classic physique guy. He doesn't have the best arms, which should be a trademark of a classic physique, but he has an impressive physique overall. What he has and what everybody thinks is what is making him different from the other guys is the wheat taper. But in my opinion, another thing that makes his physique so special is his super wide and broad chest. And yeah, he does have an amazing wheat taper with very small waist. From the back, he's not super dominant, he doesn't have very thick, full and dense back, but from the front, the lats are there. He has a very good set of legs, although the shape is not exactly perfect, but it is unique, and it does look good. So overall, very good physique. Going over it body part by body part is not exactly going to explain why do we find his physique so impressive, but I think that we can compare his physique to some of the greatest physiques ever. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Chris can be compared against him. Of course, I would go with Arnold in every single pose pretty much, but it is comparable, and I would never compare Brion Ainsley with Arnold, right? I was cheering for Chris last year, I was expecting him to win the show, but he did not deserve it. He did not deserve it because he wasn't 100% on. Brion was simply much sharper and more complete. But Brion's completeness would not grant him a victory if Chris wasn't off a little bit as he was in 2018. Chris has a very unique structure, very unique shape, and a lot of muscle on his frame. He is not that big of a guy, but he turned pro in the open, and he does have a lot of muscle. He's a big guy, he's not small at all. He's an amazing poser and has a great personality as well. His YouTube channel is very popular, so he would be a great representation of classic bodybuilding in that sense. He has a very good personality. He does have a speaking flow though, but after you listen to him for a while, you totally forget about it. It's ignorable, it's not that bad. But none of that really matters unless he's better looking than Brian. Last year, Chris made great improvements in the offseason. His arms grew a lot. But then, when the prep time came, everything was going perfectly. He was getting shredded every day. He looked awesome, he looked amazing. But then that trouble with his kidney came up. That was the same time when I was prepping for my show, so I watched his vlogs. I watched what he was eating, how he was training, and so on. And if you guys followed him, I'm sure you know already that he has a genetic kidney disease. It's an immune system disease. I don't want to go too deep into the details, but it basically stopped him from training properly or eating right. The symptoms were really bad, he got a lot of water retention and he ended up in a hospital for 3 days. He wasn't eating at all, I believe, for 3 days, and not even to mention training. And the whole thing I think happened like 5 days before the show. So somehow, once he got out of the hospital, once he found out what was the problem, he managed to get dry with a lot of hard diuretics. And he got to a certain level and it was enough for him to be second at the Mr. Olympia. So yeah, I absolutely think that Brion deserved to win 2018 Mr. Olympia. His physique is not more quote-unquote classic, he doesn't have those old school lines, but he was more conditioned, he had more complete physique, so he was better and he deserved to beat Chris Bumstead. But this year, Chris knows what he has to deal with. He knows that he has that kidney disease, and he'll be careful. At least I hope so, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be smart about it, and that he's not going to make any kind of mistakes. And if everything runs smoothly, if he manages to diet down healthily, if he doesn't have any troubles with his health, if everything goes well, he will probably be better than Brian Ainsley. If you took a look at the scorecard from 2018 Classic Physique Mr. Olympia, you could have seen that Brian only won by 1 point. And he was battling Chris that was not 100% on. Maybe like 85 or 90% on. But if this year Chris comes at 100%, dry as he can be, as he knows how to be, I believe he'll win it. I think so. I think he has the ultimate classic physique. Of course, everybody has some flaws, nobody's perfect, but he is as close to the perfection as we have today. Of course, some other names come to mind, for example, Keon Pearson and Steve Lorius. But these guys are very young in the sport. Chris was competing for a long time. He turned pro in the open division a couple of years ago. So I think these guys will have a couple of years to mature enough so they can battle Chris and Brian. I don't think they are on that level yet, but we'll see at the Mr. Olympia. Maybe I'm wrong. But I believe in the end of the evening, it's going to be between Brian and Chris. And in all likeliness, if everything goes well, Chris will take it. So I think in 2019 we're gonna have a new Classic Physique Mr. Olympia champion. What do you guys think? Do you think Chris has the chances to actually beat Brian? Or do you think Brian will win? Or somebody else? Whatever you think, tell me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel. All the best, guys. Bye bye.